Welcome to another edition of the most consistent, prolific, and dedicated uploads in YouTube's history. This is the Dynamic Show and Entertainment right here on YouTube.com. Make sure to like this video and subscribe with a backstage update as it concerns the Raw rating, Brock Lesnar's return, and the overall feeling going on backstage as concerns the Raw rating. There is rumors making the rounds that some in WWE were surprised that not only the low rating Raw received, but that even with the announced return of Chris Jericho and Brock Lesnar's appearance on the show twice, Raw continued to lose ratings as the show went on hour to hour. However, at the same time, there is a feeling WWE went about Brock Lesnar's return the wrong way in terms of promotion. This week's WWE Raw averaged 3.521 million viewers, which was down from the average 3.70 million viewers that the show drew the previous week. And this is the fallout after a pay-per-view. You'd think people would want to tune in, but nope. Here's the thing. Brock Lesnar, right? He's this special attraction. Lesnar brings with him a lot of attention. But then again, there is the lack of him being dependable and reliable because Brock Lesnar can only show up a certain amount of dates. Lesnar being on WWE supposedly puts more eyes on the product. Well, that was not the case here, and I'll tell you why. Because the WWE failed to promote and build Brock Lesnar. Sure, Brock Lesnar returned, and there were some people, because of the dirt sheets and because of the reports that I talk about and give my view on, knew that Brock Lesnar was going to be on the show, but there was a variety. There was millions of other people that didn't know Brock Lesnar was going to show up. He was not promoted on WWE.com. He was not talked about on the WWE Network. They were not advertising Brock Lesnar. There was a failure to advertise Brock Lesnar for Monday Night Raw. They were talking about Jericho. They were talking about the matches for the night, the steel cage match. They were talking about all these things, Paul Heyman. But they failed to mention that the WWE World Heavyweight Champion Brock Lesnar was going to be in attendance. Now, had you announced that Brock Lesnar was going to be on the show before Raw aired, or you at least put him on .com, then maybe the rating would have rose a little bit. But everyone expected the same predictable, boring, dull Raws that we have been getting. The dull down Raws. And that's why no one tuned in. Now, Brock Lesnar showed up during the highlight reel with Chris Jericho. The match between Paul Heyman and Chris Jericho that was supposed to go down. And he also showed up at the end of Raw. So, I mean, what is Brock Lesnar really bringing to the table? I mean, once again, I'm not going to blame Brock Lesnar and say, oh, he's not a box office attraction or that he's no longer a special attraction. But I think this is more the WWE's fault. But once again, the people that witnessed Brock Lesnar, do that interaction and hitting F5 on Chris Jericho, you would have thought that with Rollins facing Cena later on in the night in a steel cage, you would have assumed that Brock Lesnar was going to make an impact in that match in some way, shape, or form, and that's exactly what he did. But the bottom line coming out of that is, for those people that anticipated that, they still changed the channel because Raw continued to lose ratings. So this shows me that overall, there isn't, this big thing about Brock Lesnar. It seems like people are losing their time. They're losing their, They're not pleased with Brock Lesnar. And why should they be pleased with Brock Lesnar? After, what is he bringing to the company? What is Brock Lesnar really bringing to the table? The rating was lower than it was last week, and Brock Lesnar wasn't on the show last week. So, you can look at this from a variety of different ways. And right now I'm looking at it like the WWE screwed up and Brock Lesnar is not drawing as much as he used to because he is losing that prestige. Oh, well, if Brock Lesnar doesn't show up every week, it'll be better. It'll pop a bigger rating. It will draw more eyes to the prize. That's not exactly what happened on Monday Night Raw now, is it? We did not see that happen. So, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, the WWE not acknowledging that Brock Lesnar was going to be on the show, it really, overall, it killed the momentum of the show and killed the vibe. And I thought Raw was strong. I thought Raw was good. But once again, Brock Lesnar shows up unannounced, and you're not going to get those ratings you're looking for. Your comments, your opinions, and subscribe.